listen. They listen.
It's a done deal. I'm telling you. They hold them in storage too long. Let this boy fight.
But man,
Shout out to PGO podcast, man. I appreciate
that.
You already know, man. Representing Philly, North Philly, to be exact. You know what I'm saying? With my man Anthony, Messenger Thompson. I'm trying to tell you, back in the day, it was all that.
Oh man, you already know PGO, Put Your Gloves On podcast. Shout out to my guy Ian Thompson and Messenger. He was that man back in the day. I don't know. This all I grew up watching. Ian Thompson, me, Hopkins, my brothers. That's where I got my style from them. I'm moving all together. Shout out to my guy Ian Thompson. PGO, Put Your Gloves On. 18 weeks, 2 years, you already know.
PGO Nation, what's good? It's your boy Anthem Messenger coming to you by the way of the Put Your Gloves On podcast. PGO Nation, what we do, baby? We got an interesting weekend. We got to talk about the cookout, the fireworks or the lack thereof on the Shu Shu and the Abdullah Mason card. We're going to definitely get into that. We're going to talk about the sanctioning bodies and some of the wickedness that they're doing. We're going to also talk about Gervonta Tank Davis, man. Gervonta Tank Davis, man. He is doing more fighting on Twitter and on social media than getting in the ring, man. And I'm just like that fan that just want him to come back to the ring, man. I'm holding on. My fingers are still crossed because, damn it, boxing is not the same without Tank Davis. We're going to also get into some of the updates, but let's go ahead and get right into it. Y'all want to first and jump into my man Teflon Don. We've been promoting him and talking about some of the great things he's doing. Local Philadelphia promoter, stretching his arms out, getting into some places, man, in Medico, doing some big things. And this is what I like about the man. He's never settled. So I want to make a big announcement, man. Within another week or two, my man Teflon now is providing a safe haven for his signed fighters, for those who want to get into the ring. He's creating his own gym. It's going to be located off of 42nd and Lancaster. We're going to have the grand opening within the next week or two. I'm excited about that. Shout out to Teflon Don doing big things, man. As we can see, you're seeing the recessed lights, the lights in the head, in the ceiling, and we got the ring, baby. This is where fighters get their safe haven at. Shout out to Teflon doing big things. And don't forget, August the 22nd, I think it's called what? The Redo, Do It Again. But it's going down again, so we just got to make sure that we support. We're going to give you all the information you need, so don't worry about it. You won't miss it. All right? Shout out to Teflon, man, doing big things. But again, we got a lot to talk about. I'm excited. My emotions in a state of flux, man. I'm a little confused. I don't know to be happy. I don't know to be disappointed. There's some good things that happen in boxing. There's been a lot of fishy shit that went over the weekend going in boxing. We're going to talk about the stoppage. We're going to talk about Albert Bell. Was he really a formidable foe? We're going to talk about the Abdullah Mason relationship with Bell. I mean, look, man. They say where there's smoke is fire, but we're going to talk all about it. But let's get into this again. We ain't talk about it in a while because they've been on break, but they are back. The Philadelphia Smoke is back July the 12th. Versus the San Antonio Snipers. Make sure that you could come. I've been telling you guys about it. It's going to be at the Herrera Casino out Westchester, right? So the Harris Casino out Westchester. Look, man, the tickets is very, very affordable. If you got a lady you ain't take out on a date in a while, if your mom like boxing, it's your brother like boxing, your pop like boxing, trust you me. You don't want to miss it. 1 round, all guts and glory, 16 rounds. As you can see, it goes down. And by the way, Philly is where I'm from. They've been representing Philadelphia, still remain undefeated, and they're going against the San Antonio Snipers. I feel sorry. I can promise you one thing, that Philly will leave undefeated. And here's another promise. Somebody will go to sleep. I promise you that. It is a sight to see. But So shout out to Philadelphia Smoke. I will be there. Make sure that you guys are there. The tickets are $25. There's no such thing as really a ringside seat. Everybody will be there. Trust you me. Every seat is good. They do not check tickets. Once you're in, you're in. We're going to be there. Shout out to my old head, Yorgi. What up, OG? I'm gonna mention you in a second, but I've been bragging about the Philadelphia Smoke for quite some time, man. But I had an experience this weekend like no other. Okay, and I got to actually give a shout out to Bernie Barmasu, which is a big time promoter for BFC. Okay, bare knuckle fighting champ. Shout out to my Israelite brother Shalom to Austin Trout, who actually took a defeat. It was a bad and ugly when he got put to sleep. I am not too happy about that. That is something that I won't do. But listen, this was a sight, man. I went down to Xfinity, and when I tell you it was live like a wire. Man, it was more hype than Onyx. I'm telling you guys, man. And I seen my OG down there, took a picture with my guy, and now he's here representing. Shout out to you, OG. Yorgi in the building. Listen, this is what I saw. If you guys see, I'm one who like Roman and Gladiator movies. So if you guys like Troy, you guys like Spartacus, you guys like boxing to the top-notch finest, then you will love BFKC, right? Bare Fist Knuckle Champion. It is gory. It is guts. It is don't blink. This is what I experienced live and up front due to the acknowledgement of Bernie Barmasu. He allowed me to come as a promoter. 1 second, fellas. Give me 1 second. This is an important phone call. Sorry about that. Yeah, but I want to show something, man. This is what I saw. A lot of people went to sleep. I seen a lot of this, and if you ain't got the guts for it, man, then I'm telling you now, don't do it. But this is where you want to be. This is the if you like movies, if you like Gladiator, Maximus, are you not entertained? I'm going to play it one more time. Because I seen the boy got hit with an overhand right. And he shook. And he said, no mas. No more. Look, man. This is ugly. He got a gash in his head. So, brothers, this is where you want to be. Like I said, this is the experience. I thought TBL was hype. I thought TBL was where it needed to be, and it is. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, but BFKC was on another level, and it was definitely a vibe. It was jam-packed, sardines in a can. Everywhere you went, it was live, it was hype, and I really, really enjoyed myself. So shout out again to Bernie Barmasu, big-time promoter of the BFKC, Bare Fist Knuckle Champ Boxing. So this weekend, man, right? We had the Cookout. We had top prospects, Bruce Carrington, Shu Shu Carrington, along with Abdullah Mason. And once again, Shu Shu proved that he is still the WBC Featherweight champion, fought against a tough opponent. And I'm going to say this. When a person begins to perform at a certain level, you begin to have expectations. I thought Shu Shu looked good. I think he did what he needed to do. But coming off his last fight with that amazing knockout, I was more like, eh. So what I had to do, PGO Nation, I had to go back, right? And I had to watch the fight again. And I had to appreciate the sweet signs of boxing. And now I had a different opinion. Watching it in live time, I wasn't too impressed. There was some boring fight. There were some boring segments. You heard the crowd booing. There were some things that was taking place. There was some controversy in this fight. And I want you guys to tell me what y'all think. It wasn't going to really affect the fight too much, but the reason why, so I'm on the phone with my guys, Corey and Stan, and we in the group chat, and we're talking about the fight, the Albert Bell fight. We're going to talk about that other video we were talking about. We was also talking about Bruce, Shu Shu Carrington and what was going on. Now, he got hit, and I'm going to play it for you guys, and I want y'all to tell me, do y'all think that this is an official knockdown? Should it be a knockdown? Right here. Here we go right here.
Booing them are actually just going to continue.
Oh, that clipped him on the head, and down goes Carrington.
But if you didn't see it, I'm going to rewind it back.
Booing them are actually just going to continue.
Oh, that clipped him on the head, and down goes Carrington. They're not going to call that
it's a punch.
That was close. Shu Shu Carrington. Was it not? Chris, we'll let you make the call.
Y'all can see it. Right hook. Bam. On top of the head. As far as I'm concerned, that is a legit punch.
The punch.
That is a legit punch to me.
Palacios bending down, aiming for the body. See right there, that's a knockdown, guys. He touched the body, he ricocheted off the top of the head. There's no controversy here. That should have been a knockdown.
I think so too. I think that should have been a knockdown. And the reason why I think that it should have been a knockdown was because of the fact that he did not deliberately put that punch behind the head. Now, if he, you got people who do the rabbit punches. You got people who punch in the back of their head. You got your Mayorgas, and you got things of that nature. And so when you got a guy deliberately punching you behind the head, then I would have to say that it's a knockdown. But I would have to rule it not a knockdown, and you are punching this guy illegal punch. Looks like an illegal punch to me. To a certain extent, you're right, because any punch behind the head is illegal. But he dipped into that. I'm throwing a right hook, Zell, and you got to consider this. That's legit as it get, Philly and Chevy, and I agree with you, because if I'm throwing a right hook at your shoulder, right, I'm looking for you to duck into it. So if you duck and you trying to go up under my head and your dip game ain't tight, then that's your fault that you dip into my right hand. All right? When you duck, your head should be up, your eyes should be looking at your opponent, and your chin should be tucked, not your head going down. He caught him going down. I think that it was a legitimate punch. So that was one of the things. Another thing that Shu Shu went through, man, did he do a good job. If you guys watched the fight, Palacio jumped on his behind and hit him with a left hook to the body on the southpaw stance, and I swore it looked like Shu Shu shitted on himself. He was willing to take punches to the face, and he just dropped his whole hand. He actually did an Albert Bell. If y'all watched the fight, Shu Shu did an Albert Bell. He put his hands down at his waist and said, open buffet, all you can eat. He was willing to take punches to the face. But again, Shu Shu was solid. Looks like Y-Weezy finally joined the party. He's joining the party. He's joining the party. Can you hear us? I don't know if you froze or on mute. You're having bad Wi-Fi. But I'm going to go ahead and just keep talking about what I was talking about. So the thing with Shu Shu Carrington and Abdullah Mason, these guys are so talented, but they very, very young. And I want to give a shout out to my man Gabriel Rosado, Max Kellerman. They was talking on Ring Magazine. Shout out to those guys. And they was asking questions about the young top prospects like a Shu Shu, right? He probably should move up. But that's what I was going to talk about, Spaghetti Little Ed, that in Shu Shu weight class, there's some dogs in there, man. You got WBC champ, which is Shu Shu. I meant the featherweight champ. Then you got Angelo Lee. Angelo Lee is a firecracker, man. He is someone that if you ain't ready and you ain't in tip-top shape, your ass is grass, because he's going to come. Then you got Rafael Espinoza. Here's another one that don't play. And you got Brandon Figueroa. None of these guys are sweet. But I must say that Shu Shu is the more talent fighter out of all of them. But do talent always win? Normally, the most talent fighter, if you're in shape, then you should be able to pull it off. And again, going back and watching the fight, I seen Shu Shu. I thought he looked good. He was sharp, and he was in there with a gang fighter. The drop, I don't really think it was going to matter. Not if you give the guy a 10-8 round, he still lose on all cards. He should beat all of them. Angelo Lee, I think, is the one, Corey, that will probably give him the most problems. He's strong. He don't stop coming. I would give Angelo Lee the bigger. I would say he would be the bigger threat to Shu Shu. I don't think Shu Shu should move up. I think he should stay there. It's going to be a tough fight. And now we're going to transition to the next topic in which I want to talk about, which is the cookout of the Mason brothers. You had all of them. They fought on there. All three of them, they went 3-0. Every last one of them looked good. I was really impressed with Ibrahim. He actually looked like a younger Abdullah Mason. But here's a question just for shits and giggles for the PGO Nation if you're watching, right? Who y'all think better, the Mason brothers or the Davis brothers? Right? That's a tough one. Because as bad as Abdullah Mason is, I don't think he's better than Keyshawn Davis. So we can't really call that a wash. Somebody drop a comment and let me know what y'all think. You got the Mason brothers bad. Samira Lawson says she got the Mason brothers. Ah, man, that's tough because Keyshawn is so good. I don't think he's that much better than Mason. I think Mason is just as talented. You going with the Mason brothers too? I got the Mason brothers. So it look like the Mason brothers is winning thus far. I do think that the Keyshawn is the joker. He's the wild card, right? I think he's better than all of them. The Davis brothers and all the Mason brothers. That's just me. I think Mason Abdullah has as much talent as Keyshawn. He has as much talent as Keyshawn, but I don't think he's more of a dog. And I think Keyshawn has the experience. So that's what we're going to have to consider. But again, shout out to the Mason brothers. All of them was victorious. All on one. And Abdullah for, I ain't going to say for the good fight, family. Because the question is, who is Albert Bell? That's the thing. Albert Bell is a sparring partner. He is a professional sparring partner for Abdullah Mason. And I want to know, was it me? Now, I did give Albert Bell a nice run. I gave him 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, right? Where he won 5 straight rounds. But it wasn't impressive. It wasn't anything to, jump for joy and say, oh, it's crazy. I do hear an echo, too. I think you might have to go on mute until, you're ready to talk. There you go. When you're ready to talk, just let me know because I can hear an echo real bad. But let's get back into it. With Abdullah Mason, he should not be down like that. You have Albert Bell, good fighter, solid fighter. But let's not forget, for those who don't know and those who's asking, who is Albert Bell? He's a solid fighter, but he's one of Abdullah Mason's closest friends. All right? And he's one who every time Abdullah Mason fight, he's one who's called into camp and he boxes Abdullah Mason. Now, some will say, well, why would Abdullah Mason pick somebody that know you, that's very familiar with you? And I'll tell you why. Because now that you think about it, that's what sparring partners do. Right, Weezy? Sparring partners come in and they do something called a tag team, where you will go 4 rounds, get out, another sparring partner will come in, do 4 rounds, get out, and another sparring partner will get in 4 rounds. So Albert Bell did exactly what a sparring partner do on clockwork. Around round 6 or 7, he began to fold like a beach chair, and Abdullah Mason stood it up. But there's a lot more behind the curtain, Weezy, when you're talking about this fight with Abdullah Mason and Albert Bell. We're going to get into the politics of it, but I want to just get your thoughts on what you think took place with Abdullah Mason. I'm going to take you off mute. You ain't got to worry about it. I'm going to take you off mute about Abdullah Mason and Albert Bell. And what was your thoughts on the fight?
Am I echoing? Can you hear me? Okay, and all right. Abdullah Mason fight, it was pretty good. I had to go back and watch it Sunday.
because Saturday night I couldn't watch it all. But I had to go back and watch it Sunday. Once I sat down and watched it Sunday, I was able to see that it wasn't all his. It wasn't all his picking. Bell was not of his picking. I think it belonged to his matchmaker, Trampler, or somebody. So Top Rank picked him. Now, he probably had something to do with it, but I don't think Mason said, give me Bell. Now, when he dealt with Bell, it wasn't, he showed me that he can put people to sleep or he can get you out of there. He showed me that he has something special. And you can't, like I always say, you can't buy it at Walmart on aisle number 9. Even though the fight was whatever people want to call it, his sparring partner, and sparring partners know you the best. So sometimes it's actually really hard to get off on your sparring partner because y'all been doing it so long. He even though he may not, he think he may have your ticket. That's why you call him in, so he.
T.Y., you froze.
Okay.
There you go.
What about now? Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you. Go ahead. You good? All right. Well, I'm going to take it because it's something I want to say.
Come back in?
No, you good. I can hear you. What up? What up, Mill? All right, so T.Y., I'm gonna get back into it. So you no, you're fine. But listen, you talk about Albert Bell and him being a formidable foe, and you don't think that I think Shu Shu actually did give him a shot.
What about now, champ?
You might gotta leave and come back. I can hear you, but I don't think you can hear me. So what T.Y. was saying, I'm gonna disagree with. And Mira Lawson, you're saying Abdullah looked out for Albert. He gave him a shot that no one else wanted to give him. That's not true. YSM, what's going on, sports media? Shout out to my man Mill, man. Make sure that you guys go check out his YouTube page, man. He gets a lot of inside scoop. He get a lot of exclusives with the dungeon. Shout out to my man Mill, YSM Sports Media. He does a lot of exclusives on boots. Also, with Greg Hackett. Shout out to my man Mill. What's going on, Mill? Thanks for supporting, bro. Appreciate you. But let's get back to Abdullah Mason. Bell actually had a fight, and this is what I wanted to actually talk about was the politics in it. But before I get into it, I'm going to break it down a little bit more. There's a few ways you can look at this, right? A lot of people had Bell up. Now, I would say that the fix was in. And why am I saying that? Because nowhere in the world Abdullah Mason was up 5 rounds. No way that Abdullah was up 5 rounds. The judges had him up 107 or 102. There's no way. I think we all can agree. Put a 1 in if you had Bell dominating the first half of the fight. Because I had Bell dominate. If you wanted to, you could have gave Bell the first 6 rounds, to be honest. Thanks, Mill. I appreciate it. Definitely went viral, man. Definitely went viral. I had Bell winning maybe the first 6 rounds. Maybe you give the round to Abdullah Mason, the first round, but he damn sure lost 2nd, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That's 5 rounds. So there's no way you can have him up 5 rounds. So yeah, we got some confirmation by the mouth of 2 witnesses. Let it be established. He dominated 5 out of the 6 rounds. I completely agree with that. Now, here's what I want to say real quick, and I want y'all to understand this. The question was, do Abdullah Mason have the skills to do what people say that Boots have the ability to do? And I posted another video with Jerron Boots Ennis, an exclusive video along with Bozy. Make sure you guys go check it out. And it talks about Boots Ennis say, I do what I want to do, right? And I asked Boots a question, and he said, yeah, but I don't, and I talked about it. I said, Boots, do you feel comfortable boxing? Not Boots, can you box? Boots, do you feel comfortable boxing? He said yes. And that was the question with Abdullah Mason. We all agreed that Abdullah Mason talent can allow him to do what he want to do, his talent. But do he have the skills to perfect it? And I used to say to myself, what's the difference between skills and talent? Talent is, I'm going to try to make sense out of it, what you're able to do. Skills is being able to consistently do it. It takes skills and mental fortitude to box. Prime example, when he fought Sam Noakes was a strong fighter. Everyone is screaming that he should box. Everyone is saying you should box. Don't get punched. But the question is, do he have the skill to box? And I said this, and I witnessed this, and I tell this to my friends all the time. Yes, I can box, but I didn't feel comfortable boxing. Because the messenger had speed, because the messenger could box and had a great jab, don't mean that I felt comfortable boxing. So that's the question. Do you feel comfortable boxing? People now is starting this narrative with Boots that he get hit too much and he need the box. But what I find interesting about Boots is the very own people that y'all talk about who Boots y'all would like to see fight get hit way more than Boots and got put to sleep. This is why Boots said on that exclusive video, shout out to Boots, we're going to go after Fundora and we're going to chop that tree down. Chop him down, chop him down. Fundora got put to sleep. Y'all don't talk about his defense. Virgil Ortiz got put on his ass in his back pockets multiple times. He got dropped. But you don't talk about Virgil Ortiz, lack of defense. So, shout out to Abdullah Mason, man. Now, some will say that Bell benefited from that, right? That Bell benefited from being able to do this. Now, let's get into the politics. Walk with me for a second. Albert Bell had a fight with Albert Cruz on July the 18th for the title eliminator. Whoever wins this fight becomes the number one or the vacant spot against against Ray Mortala. So Albert Bell versus Andy Cruz, July the 18th for the number one spot in the IBF. I have never seen someone sign a contract and 2 weeks before they fight, pull out of a signed contract, a scheduled fight, and fight somebody else. That's politics. Now, we're going to shift it just a little bit. That means the sanctioning bodies allow Albert Bell to breach his contract for the IBF number one ranked spot against Andy Cruz on July the 18th and now fight his friend. Let's call it what it is. He's now fighting his best friend or his close friend, Abdullah Mason, for a title. That's kind of crazy. I would agree with that, Corey. I would definitely agree with that. Talent is being able to do. Skills is knowing how to do it. Said talent. I definitely agree with that. And sometimes you may know how to do it, but might not how to do it. You may be able to do it, but might not know how to apply it. So we call that application, right? Being able to apply the very own talent that you got and turn it into a skill and be disciplined. And shout out to Gabriel Rosado because he said this. He said, guys like Shakur and guys like Floyd Mayweather, they have the skill to perfect something that a lot of fighters are able to do, but do not do it because it's playing high chess. And I think that's very important. I'm going to say that again. It's playing high chess. And it's mental draining to actually have the discipline to constantly stay on your bike and flick your jab and grab and hold and wrap up when need be to break somebody's offensive surge. It takes a lot of discipline. And people don't have it. This is why people get drawn into fights. But say what you want to say about Boots. He's going to be the face of boxing. He's going to be very, very exciting because there isn't too many fighters that have the skills that Boots have that's willing to get into a dogfight. So at the end of the day, we want to be entertained. This is why people don't appreciate the sweet science of boxing. And as good as Shakur is, he's not fan friendly. Devin Haney. These guys are a trainer's dream. I mean, they do everything right from a trainer's perspective. But they a fan nightmare. You don't want to see Devin Haney like that for real. Because he's going to box. He's going to find a way to make it boring and ugly. And he's going to come out the winner because he's that talented and that skilled. But let's get into the politics of it. Albert Bell was able to back out against Andy Cruz on July the 18th and fight. Now, Albert Bell won. He won a payday and he won a fight. And he won a fight for, and he won a shot for a title. But who lose? This man right here. This who's the big loser. Andy Cruz. He got his homemade bag for sure. But now Andy Cruz, he lost. And he lost big time. Why did he lose big time? Because he's now fighting Abraham Montoya, who's 24 wins, 7 losses, one draw with 14 KOs. That's not enough, y'all. Albert Bell was the perfect fighter. He didn't have a lot of punching power. He wouldn't be able to hurt Andy Cruz. The IBF deemed him worthy to fight for the eliminator, right? So now, if Cruz beat him, what happens? He now becomes the #1 contender. And rumor has it, now this is for all the people that knock Boots. This is the same prime example where the IBF was setting Andy Cruz up, promoting him, and some people may say he's not that good, but damn it, when you win 2 Olympics, 5 World Games, 3-time Pan American team winner, you're going to get pushed. I thought Lomachenko was overrated, but he got a title shot his second fight. That's what happened when you was an amateur phenom. That's that express train. I was telling that to my man, Jabril Noble, what an amateur background can do. Win 2 Olympics. You're going to get on the express train. And you're going to be able to fight for titles. This is why the man is 6-1. And he's now ready to fight for another title limiter. But they put a pause on it. They allow Albert Bell to back out. So why did Andy Cruz lose? Even if he went against Montoya, because now he's a fight down and punishment behind. He's a fight back, y'all. Because there's no end unless we really see the politics. Now, here's Albert Bell record. 29-0 at the time with 9 knockouts, ranked in the top 10, ranked number 5. The IBF say, we willing to take that. We'll use this and we'll say that he's a formidable foe, and he can fight you, Andy Cruz, for the vacant spot of the IBF. Now, Cruz is now about to fight Montoya, but they're not going to sanction that, which means he's now a fight behind. They did Andy wrong. Now he's fighting, but it's for nothing. Now, what if he lose? He's screwed. What if he go there and don't look good? He's screwed. This is why the fix was in for him to fight Bell. And rumors have it, I'm going to show you how boxing goes, and this is why we can't criticize the game. There was a man by the name of Bud Crawford, who was the IBF champ after he beat Boots. After he beat Spence. Somebody became the #1 contender. Bud vacated the title, and Boots was handed the title. Certain sanction bodies allow certain things to take place. So if you become the #1 spot for the #1 vacant, the #1 contender for the IBF, and the one who has the belt vacated, the IBF will give you the belt. So the same thing that happened to Boots when Bud Crawford moved up and went and fought Madrimov at 154 and Boots got the belt, people call him the email champ. That's not cool, because I can name so many individuals that got the belt. It ain't my fault that Bud Crawford chose not to fight me. And the reason why I'm saying that, so y'all want to say, well, how's that parallel to what's going on? Andy Cruz was supposed to fight Albert Bell and beat Albert Bell, and Ray Matala was supposed to move up. There's big time rumors from serious sources that's saying Ray Matala is going to move up. So if Andy Cruz would have beat Albert Bell to our upcoming this 18th, and Murtala move up, Andy Cruz is now the IBF champ. But that ain't happened. So now there's a setback. And not only is a setback, he's a fight behind. Because there's no way, unless the IBF really pull off and show their the political power, and now make and say that Abraham Montoya is a formidable foe. What you got to say about this, Y-Weezy? You off mute.
Have you ever seen Marvin Hagler with hair?
No.
Huh?
I haven't.
Have you ever seen the middleweight destroyer, Marvelous Marvin Hagler, with hair?
Nope.
I guess it's paused. Okay.
You can't hear me.
Okay. And so, okay. I can't.
Go ahead. If you can hear me, go
hear
ahead.
you.
It might be a delay.
Can you hear me? Well, this episode, people may have to understand, is it's called Mitch and Match. It's gonna get better because I gotta test the frequency to where I'm at now. And once I get this frequency with the Wi-Fi or bring my computer to the place that's supposed to be, everything will be okay. But this one is called, I ask the PGO Nation and everybody that's watching and everybody that shall be watching, bear with us right now because we staticky, you know what I'm saying? Like a comb going through a bush.
No, you good.
So
you
bear
good.
with us. It's going to be some static, but if you can hear me, make a smile and we're going to get through this.
You good.
Okay, but you're choppy. Now, the question that I asked was, have you ever seen Marvin Marvelous Hagler with hair on top of his head?
Nah.
I haven't. Hear your response.
I haven't.
Okay. So that means that
all right. We probably gonna have to just continue to move forward with that. So what I wanted to just show y'all, give y'all just a little bit of inside scoop to let y'all know what the PGO Nation be getting into, man. Again, we be having our eyes in the gym, man, and our ears to the ground. And here's just a little bit of the fight that Andy Cruz is preparing for. Let me give y'all some inside footage, man. I'm gonna bring y'all in the gym with PGO, man.
See, that's why I told Andy that defense. Called Andy.
Yeah, just turn this stuff off every turn. Every move is a shot, like you used to say. Hey, Bob. Look at that. That's all you want to see, that right there, right? Yep. That's all you want to see.
Live footage, baby. Raw enough cut.
Yeah.
Y'all get nice, though.
Huh?
Y'all get nice.
Good job. Nice. Boom. Give me the angle. Nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Gotta be slick to deal with a can of oil, man. It's the inside footage, man, in the dungeon, by the way. We're gonna be giving y'all everything, man. Boost innocence, work. Boost put people to sleep. So I got a lot of inside footage coming for you guys, man. But there you see Andy Cruz. And again, I feel sorry for my man, because even if he go out here and win, he's still a fight behind. Now they're going to have to pull another rabbit out of the hat. And that's just the politics. But let's talk about the politics real quick, y'all. The fact that they allow Albert Bell to do that, the fact that they allow him to pull out, and now Andy Cruz have to fall back. And let me tell you another thing that's political. When Andy Cruz, he was ranked #1, right, for the IBF, and he fought Ray Matala, and he lost. He went down to #4. So one would say, if you jump down to #4, who the hell is the #2 guy? They're not even using the ranked #2 IBF fighter. It's the Russian kid. I forgot his name. I had it written down. He don't have that many fights, but that just shows the politics in boxing. If somebody want, they can Google who's the ranked #2 lightweight, ranked by the IBF. So they're allowing Albert Bell and Andy Cruz to skip over the ranked #2 guy. That's political. Now, why am I saying that? Because we're going to dive and transition into Tank Davis right now, who my heart is just broken because I don't know if he's ever going to be able to get back in the ring because of what's now taking place. He was the champion on recess, but that shit is over with because Floyd Schofield is getting ready to go ahead and fight Badu and for the WBA title, and that's going to be a good fight. So I don't know Lucian Badu, who's 20-0 with 15 knockouts. But the sanctioning bodies is making moves that I find interesting. And here's one that I want to talk about, PGO Nation. If you know boxing, come on and talk to me. Please explain to me, how the hell is Tszyu ranked #1 by the WBO when he just came off 2 ass whoopings by Fundora? Somebody explain it to me. His last fight, he got stopped. And ain't he fighting Earl Spence this month coming up? There we go. Zaul Abdullah. He's like 12-0, 13-0, something like that. He's a good amateur, another good amateur prospect. That's why he's ranked so high with so many less fights like Andy Cruz. But they overlooking him. If anything, he should be the one fighting Andy Cruz for the #1 spot. Or he should be fighting Albert Bell for the #1 spot. So they just shows you that he is not what they looking for. He probably don't put the butts in the seats. And at the end of the day, boxing is still a business. And we cannot forget that. Boxing is still a business. So I'm looking for someone to please tell me, how is Tszyu ranked #1 now by the WBO after coming off a technical loss in his last 2 fights he lost? I don't understand it. And now the WBA, the sanctioning body, has said, hell with Tank Davis. We're going to keep the name Recess. And the reason why they're keeping the name Recess or using the title Recess next to Tank Davis, because he is the biggest pay-per-view fighter, American fighter. Let me let that be known. Since Floyd Mayweather. Boxing is not the same without Tank. So I don't understand why Devin Haney, all these guys continue to duck Tank. You can't pass up a fight on Tank, man. To be able to fight Tank here in America on pay-per-view, you can't blow that opportunity. But let's not overlook that. Tszyu being ranked #1. So you know what that means? If Tszyu somehow beat Errol Spence, which I believe the fix is in, Spence going to have to beat the hell out of Tszyu because 1, it's in Australia, and 2, they ranked Tszyu #1 by the WBO before he even beat Spence. They didn't even wait to see the outcome. Tszyu will be fighting Boots. He will be the mandatory for Boots. And I don't think that's a name.
He get his ass whooped.
And I don't think that's a name, TY, that's going to move the needle for Boots critics. Put a 1 in the chat if you think that Tszyu will be a needle mover if Boots fighting. What you think, T.Y.? Because right now he's Boots mandatory for the WBO.
Well, first of all, let me go back to what I was saying, and you answered it. I asked you, have you ever seen Marvelous Marvin Hagler with hair? And you said no. Okay, that's like with the politics in the game. They're never going to leave the game. That's why I said that. So you can say no to that, and you can bring no into this answer. Will the politics ever leave boxing? No. No, because what people don't understand is that at one time, 85% of the game was owned by La Cosa Nostra. When TV was black and white, and water fountains came with instructions, colored or white, and all of that crazy stuff. La Costa Nostra was running boxing, and you could not get a fight unless, this is why a lot of professional fighters got starved out. They either wait you out or starve you out. If you're not signing with, back in the day, it was a Philadelphia mobster who had all the fighters, but they wanted to starve out the great Ray Robinson. His name was Blinky Palermo. Look him up. Blinky Palermo was a mafia manager, and he called the rules on who fought who, why they fought who, and if you didn't sign with him, you wasn't getting no money. But luckily, Ray had an ace in the hole. He found 2 other people that trusted and believed in him and navigated him through the politics. The only way, champ, I'm saying this outside of the lesson that I'm giving. The only way to beat the politics is to beat ass.
That's it. I agree. Damn, you can't. You're gonna pause like that, TY. After that comment, there you go. You back. Go ahead.
Huh?
Go ahead. I agree with you. The only way to beat politics is to beat ass. That's the only way you can do it.
Okay. That's it. BTA, belt to ass. So, you know, that's the only thing. Say it again. See, and I'm not saying, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Blinky Palermo.
So once again, he got disconnected. But one of the things that I want to talk about real quick before we go ahead and wrap up the episode, I want to make a correction. It's BKFC, which is Bare Knuckle Fighting Champion. I believe I was probably pronouncing it wrong. Bare Fist Knuckle Champion is what I was saying. But it's Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship with Burning Bar Marcel. And again, there's the information. This is the #1, the ranked #2 guy right there, who is ranked #2 by the IBF. Now, I don't understand how he's been overskipped. This is the politics. I don't understand how Tszyu come off of 2 ass whippings and he's ranked #1 by the WBO, which means he's now Boots #1 mandatory, which he would get both the ass. I just wanted to ask the PGO Nation, would Tszyu move the needle if he did have to fight Boots? And if when Boots dump him, would that be a name? Because we still hearing after beating Xander Zayas, who was a unified champ, it's just not enough. But we got the exclusive video. Y'all hear Boots say he want belt the ass on Fundora. I want Fundora, chop him down, chop him down. So I don't want to hear nobody saying Boots is cherry picking. I don't want to hear nobody saying Boots is ducking anybody. We're going to now see Tom of the Truth Teller because he got both straps. And he said, tick tock. He going for the belt. So everybody that got a belt, he's coming for. Josh Kelly, get ready. And Fundora, get ready. But I want to make one quick last announcement that I think is great for boxing. I said there's been some things that was, you know, some bittersweet. You had the decision with Abdullah Mason, the early stoppage. You had the knockdown with Shu Shu. There were some things that you could talk about that the boxing fans wasn't really too happy about. But here's an announcement that I'm happy about. Boxing is now back, baby. Back on regular TV. How about that? How about these fights being on TNT? I loved it. Now, one thing that I don't like, and I think I speak for myself as well as for all you guys watching the PGO Nation, everyone's going to watch this, they got to do something about these damn times. I can't keep staying up 11:30, 1 o'clock at night, man, watching these fights. I can't keep doing it. So, man, they're going to have to do something. But I think this is good for boxing. We now see that boxing is transitioning, it's getting away from pay-per-view sales, which makes it which going to make it easy. What up, cuzzo? Thanks for supporting, baby, and getting on. But again, boxing now on these streaming platforms is going to be good. You know, we're going to be able to see it. You don't have to pay, except for when DAZN is going to put it on pay-per-view. So that just shows that the young boy not ready for pay-per-view yet. But I'm okay with that. Floyd Schofield and all them guys, hopefully they don't get on pay-per-view, but that's just what it's going to be. But PGO, make sure that you guys are making joining us every Tuesday. Make sure that you guys are going to the Instagram, following our content. Make sure that you guys are going to the YouTube. Put your gloves on at PUTCHAGLOVESON, all one word. Make sure that you guys are liking, subscribing, and following us, man. We appreciate you guys for liking our content, for commenting. It's going to get better. And I got a surprise coming for you guys. I'm really, really working on something big. Hopefully, I might be able to get it next week, but we're going to have some content. We're going to give you guys an update from the TBL. We're going to continue to bring new content. I got some. Let me make this announcement. Oh, by the way, I was actually getting ready, and I received a text message today from somebody. So I got another exclusive coming. It's going to be getting dropped pretty soon. And, man, I'm excited because the person is talking smack. They back in the gym. And I think we might get that fight, man. We might get the fight that we all want. And I ain't going to tell y'all what it is, but you'll see. So make sure you guys stay tuned to the Instagram. Stay tuned to the YouTube channel. And you guys is going to drop. And by the way, we're less than 200 followers away from 1,000 on Instagram. Make sure you guys are sharing our page. Please make sure that you guys are actually following us. We just started this page, man, and that quick, within a couple of months, we have almost 1,000 followers. But we need you guys to support. And shout out to all those, Ring Magazine. Shout out to Boxing Scene. Shout out to Teflon and all the people who use our content and gave us props. That's the way it's supposed to be. Them guys gave and showed mad love to the Put Your Gloves On podcast. But listen, man, we're going to give it, yes, IFL TV, man. It was great seeing so many people use your content and actually give you props for it. And that goes to PGO having exclusive inside information on some of the hottest fighters. But we ain't done yet, man. We ain't done. I got a couple of more jokers in the deck. I just ain't pulled them out yet. I'm sitting on it because they say the key to success is being at the right place at the right time. So we're going to get ready to close this episode out with the famous saying, now you know, blow for blow, it's PGO. Just like that. Thank you guys, man.
What's good, PGO Nation? This is Ant the Messenger along with Y-Weezy Social Media Encyclopedia. Now you know, blow for blow, it's PGO.